Um, Thank you, Vedant. Well, yes, I do know him from quite some time. We have shared a lot of stories, a lot of techie stuff, what he does, what I do, a lot of tinkering with servers and open source models, LLMs, running them locally, trying to save money wherever I can, right? Um, Thank you, Vedant, for introducing me. Well, I'm Harshit, and I am a software engineer at ImageKit. Been here for about 3 years now. Um, but I think that's it for the introduction bit. We would be talking about automated debugging of image and video performance issues. So I think Gaurav mentioned a lot about core web vitals, LCP and time to first content, and then how your images and media, videos, media, everything loads over a website, and how you can basically measure them, right? So that is what we already saw. Now, in this, we would talk about how you can use MCPs to actually automate the entire process, right? You just need to close the loop, right? From debugging to understanding what the issue is to fixing it. Because now we are in the agentic world, right? Everything needs to be autonomous, right? So that's what we are talking about. And I will be showing you a live demo. Um, so in the last n number of years in the industry, I've seen most people think about performance as an afterthought. How many of you actually use MCPs during your development phase? Nice. So I would actually, kind of encourage everyone to use MCPs during development. How many of you think about performance after the issue is already there in production? How many of you deploy your websites and then figure out that, okay, this is taking so much time to load? Right? Yeah, so we all do that, right? So here I want to make a statement that performance is not an afterthought. It should be something that you consider right from the beginning, right? Right from when you start developing, right? Now, to really fix performance, you need to ask yourself two questions. One, what is broken? Right? First, we need to understand what is broken, then we can fix it, right? Now, what is broken is something that you can figure out, right? How? Developer tools, right? So Chrome has developer tools. We are very fortunate. So we can use developer tools to figure out what is the issue. What is that one asset? What is that one image or video that's taking the lot more time to load, right? What is making a website slow? We have Lighthouse. Has anyone used Lighthouse? What does Lighthouse do? Performance. Who made this? Who made Lighthouse? What? Yeah, yeah. Right? So we have Lighthouse, fortunately. We can use it to measure performance. We can use it to understand the root causes. Now, how do you fix it? So let's say your image is loading slow, right? Or your LCP is too high. How do you fix it? You go to MDN docs, figure out what to do. Or you go to Next.js docs, figure out the image component, find out what you need to change. Maybe you do lazy loading. What is lazy loading? Anyone who's implemented lazy loading? What is lazy loading? You load on demand, right? So when you're scrolling into the view, that is when you load the image, right? So now, today we will be talking about the Chrome DevTools MCP. Has anyone tried that? How was your experience with MCP? It's great, right? So does anyone know that Chrome DevTools also has access to your Lighthouse? So it has access to the metrics. So we can actually use it to debug. And then we will, of course, use ImageKit MCP because I am talking about ImageKit. So we will use that to fix the issues, right? Let's see the demo. So before I go to the demo, Chrome DevTools MCP basically has these tools. So one is navigate page, then there is performance start trace. That is what we'll be using. Then we have take snapshot. We have list network requests. So ideally, it is basically completing the same flow that we use as a user, right? So we would need to understand the network request, maybe turn off the caching, figure out what is loading slow, and then fix it, right? Similarly, ImageKit's MCP tools, it has two tools, execute and search docs. Search docs is because it needs to search ImageKit docs, right? Let's move to the demo. So I am going to show you. I hope this is visible, the browser, right? So it's a very simple web page that I've developed, right? If you see, there's a video that loads, that plays in the background. There's an image, and there are a couple of images here which need to load, right? So let's see what the performance of this web page right now is. I hope this is visible. Let me just, okay, my cache is disabled, no throttling. Let me just try to refresh the page. Do you see how much time it is actually taking to load the image? This image is a huge image. The video is a huge image. The video is very large, right? Now, if I scroll, there's already lazy loading. So if I scroll, it'll start loading the images below it, right? Now, if you see the one that is there, that's still loading. It's not yet loaded. In all, let's just wait for it to load. You see the timers are still running. It's taking more than 30, 35 seconds to load, right? Now, how do you fix it? How do you debug this? How do you debug this and fix it in the same loop without human supervision? Let's just go to the code. So I'm using Cursor. How many of you use Cursor? How many of you use Claude Code, CLI? And anyone who uses something else, Klein, Windsurf? I feel developers are very opinionated, right? We just want to use whatever we like. We don't want to switch, right? So I am a Cursor person. So I will show you this with Cursor. You can, feel free to try this with any other code editor. So here, very simple. I'm not going to dive into code because I have very less time. I'm going to show you 5 prompts that I've written. Very, very simple prompts. Use the Chrome DevTools MCP to record a performance trace of the website with caching disabled and tell me the 3 biggest performance issues ranked by user impact, right? So we'll be running this, and then meanwhile, I'll show you the other prompts. Let me just say, run prompt 1, right? So essentially what we are asking Cursor, we are asking the LLM to go through the MCP, use the Chrome DevTools MCP. I can show you it's already set up here. So you can go to Cursor settings, you can go to tools and MCP, and you have the Chrome DevTools. It has a lot of tools which are exposed. So it is internally using this. And I also have the image kits used, but right now it's not using that. We'll come to that later. So if you see, it is executing, it is already taken access to my Chrome. It is running, it is navigated to this page, it's reloaded, it started the performance trace. If you want to see, it is actually doing this in a controlled environment. So this is a controlled environment. Can everyone see Chrome is being controlled by an automated test software, right? So this is where it is connecting to the Chrome DevTools MCP and doing this for us, right? So once we have this report, we are going to do a second prompt. Again, very simple, nothing fancy, no rocket science. We're going to say that for each issue, tell me a specific image URL and exact DOM selector of the element causing it. Because we're trying to fix the issues with images, right? Because images were taking a lot of time to load. So we are kind of asking it to give us the selector element, right? Okay, let's look at what it says. So it is pointed out 3 major issues, right? The first issue is there's a massive media payload, right? The images are almost 90 MB, right? So if you see the image sizes, right? So this is the first, this is a hero image that is almost 3.3 MB. Then there's 5 MB, 4 MB, 5 MB, 3 MB, 2 MB. I hope everyone can see the KB sizes, right? So all in all, we are trying to load about 90 megabytes, right? And that is why it is slow. So that is the first issue. It has also given us a exact size. So now all of this is coming directly from Chrome DevTools MCP, right? So now it has the context. We have set the context. The second is poor largest contentful paint. So I think Gaurav clearly explained what LCP is. So you have a certain element that's taking the largest time to paint on the DOM, right? That is what is causing the web page to load slow, right? Now for us, that is the hero. That is the hero image, which is almost. Oh, so there's a video as well. But so these are basically the responsible causes, right? And then we have some CLS. What is CLS? Can anyone explain what is CLS in very easy terms? Yeah, I mean, in a way, yes. But from a user experience, what CLS means is you have an element which is right here. You refresh the page, or maybe the page loads, it moves or it displaces, right? So now that is a problem that leads to a very bad user experience, right? So that is CLS. Now we should avoid that. That is what Core Web Vitals also track. So this is what it told us, right? Summary, we have three issues. Now let's run the second one. So second prompt, we've already discussed the second prompt. Oh, so by the way, this is using Composer's 2.5 model. You can use any model. This is cheaper, so I'm using it. I can show you how much it costs to run these prompts as well. So yeah, so I think the prompt at 1111, yeah, it is something like $0.3, $0.09. So anyway, we are still less than 50 rupees, right? Okay, so we have run the second prompt. We have the exact selector elements. So these are the selector elements that are causing the issue. The hero image, and we have the sizes for each of them. The hero video, that is also causing the issue. Then we have product thumbnails. So we have these bunch of thumbnails that are being loaded, right? These thumbnails, right? So all of these are causing an issue because of the size, is what we have learned. Poor LCB, again, we have spoken about it. There is a CLS risk because images don't have width and height parameters. So it's clear, right? So somebody who has already debugged issues like this, we need to set a proper image width, height. In some cases, we need to also set max width, right? To make sure CLS is not there. So anyways, this has given us that. Let's run the third prompt. So what does the third prompt say? Third prompt say, invoke the fix phase. So now we are coming to the fix. So now we are asking it to use ImageKit's MCP docs to look up the right transformation. So ImageKit, I'm sure everybody knows ImageKit by now, so I don't have to explain what we do. We kind of optimize your images using URL-based parameters, right? So we're just asking it to use that, use the URL-based parameters, try to fix this issue, right? Let's just run this quickly. So while this runs, we can quickly discuss the fourth one as well that I'm going to run. So in the third one, it will figure out where the issues are, make a plan, okay, search the docs, figure out what the changes are need to be made. And then in the fourth one, we're just simply asking it to update the components. So I have the hero component, the product card component that is actually displaying the products. It'll just apply those fixes, right? And then in the fifth one, we are going to run a performance trace and show us a before and after comparison, right? So I hope the time permits us to do this. If not, I can show you an existing run that I've already done because it's a short talk. So let's just wait. Okay, so meanwhile, we can also cover what's there. So once we are done fixing, right? So essentially, I can tell you what it will come up with because again, we are humans, we are the supervisors, we already know what the fix is. So it will essentially change the URLs. Again, it will use ImageKit to change the URLs. So our initial URLs were delivering the original images that you use from your S3, right? So now what it will do is it will just put three parameters. One, set a proper width so that CLS can be avoided. Second, there's a lossless quality 80. Yeah, it's a lossless compression. So it will reduce the quality to 80% of the original one so that the visual difference is negligible. And it will also optimize the format automatically, right? Is it done? Okay, I don't think it is done. We are almost over time. Let me just show you the previous runs quickly. Right, so essentially if you see, this is what it does. It did some changes and then the final prompt, the fifth prompt that compared the changes, right? So LCP was reduced from 490 ms to 193 ms, right? So it's almost a 61% change. I think Gaurav correctly mentioned anything below 2.5 seconds is good, but then you don't want to be in the good spectrum, right? You want to be in the excellent spectrum. So you need to keep it under a second, right? So here we have a 61% improvement. What else? We have size reduction, crazy size reduction. So we were almost looking at 3.4 MB. I think I showed you sizes, right? So from 3.4 MB, we're almost at 86 KB 18 kb, 54 kb, 850 kb, right? So almost close to 95 to 98% reduction, right? And that is what did all the magic, right? I don't know if it is completed yet. Oh, it's not completed. I can show you it later. But anyways, so that is what we are looking at. And then, of course, because we have reduced the sizes to KBs, so now our effective size reduces to 1.5 MB, so from somewhere like 90 MB or 75 MB, right? Just to summarize, again, I would reinforce the concept that use MCPs as much as you can. Every MCP out there is open source. You don't have to pay for it. Use MCPs during development, not as a post-launch thing, right? And that's it from my side. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I do post a lot of stories. I have a blog running as well. If anyone uses Proxmox, I do write a lot of blog posts about Proxmox and self-hosting. So yeah, please do follow me on LinkedIn. You can find the blog links on the LinkedIn itself. Right. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for listening to me.